How did you come from being a hypnotherapist into the stage hypnosis?
Well, you know, I could see, first of all, you had a lot of really good questions that came up after you aired some of the material last night. But how I became a stage hypnotist, I was actually a school counselor. I was overweight. And a friend of the family is a medical doctor here in the States, said Jim, he used hypnosis in his private practice. And there's not so much today that medical doctors use it, but back 25, 30 years ago, they did use it more than today. Anyway, he said, well, why don't I hypnotize you? And I said, no. He said, I don't believe in hypnosis. And even if there were such a thing, it wouldn't work for me, right? So finally, he talked me into it, so I sat down, felt comfortable, got hypnotized, and it worked. I took off some weight, a lot of weight, and I said, hey, this is for me. And I was finishing up my my master's degree, and I was starting in a school counseling career, elementary and high school counseling. And as I finished my master's degree, I got more and more interested in hypnosis and started going to every hypnosis training I could think of. I went to Gil Boyne out in California. Harry Aarons, who has the different stages of hypnosis and the depth scale. I studied with Ted Barber, who is with pain management. I studied with every hypnotist who was out there on the circuit at that point in time, and I got more and more enthralled with it. So finally I got certified to do the clinical work, and I started doing it part-time. And what happened was this: part-time I was doing extremely well from word of mouth from my teaching community. But then a friend of mine who was a activity director at a local college said, Jim, can you come in and do a stage hypnosis demonstration? I said, well, not really, because I said I don't really believe in that aspect of back then, how it would be beneficial, etc. But he said, well, we've had another hypnotist come in for several years, and the guy was on a real power struggle. Didn't treat students with respect. But he was all powerful and almighty, and we'd really like you to come in. And I had been doing a self-hypnosis seminar there for about 5 years, and we'd always get 30 or 40 students to come to it. So I agreed, so I put together a demonstration, right? That involved some fun type things too. Well, I get there that night, and there's 800 students that came for the show.
800 students?
800.
That's crazy. Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, right away it came to me, you know what? Students, maybe they pay to be entertained more so than to be educated. So right away it came to me that possibly you could use the entertainment as a platform to get their attention and then also educate them at the same time. And that's how...